ahead.
Right, good evening everybody. Welcome to Lights Out League Racing Season 30, Race 2, Round 2. We're doing a sprint format. Anyone that's just seen the Div 1 race, exactly the same. And it's overcast again, which Miami's known for. And a very tricky circuit in Miami, the Miami International Autodrome, where a lot of drivers are not a big fan. And we've got a little bit of surprise for all of you here. We've got a guest. We've got a volunteer to join in commentary. Good evening, Jax Daniels. How are you, my friend?
Thank you, Crofty. Yes, I'm very good. After a exhausting race, so let's see what two can do today. We didn't see a safety car in the first race, so let's see if the Div 2 can follow up and keep the team racing at it. Yeah.
Bloody Crofty. That guy's bursting out of his shirts. Lennon says you're very quiet. Are you able to turn anything up at all? Yeah, you're quiet. They'll keep you entertained, I'm sure. But we've started the one-shot quali. It looks like someone might have readied up a bit too soon. Who shall we keep an eye on? Who do you reckon's a contender? Let's keep an eye on Ricardo Milos as he's coming round turn 3 out of the S-bends. 1 or 2 found it very tricky in Div 1. Blind corner of turn 4 around turn 5 and 6. The curbs are very, very uneasy. Trail brake round turn 8. You want to prioritise an exit. Get good traction off the corner to capitalise on overtaking as the DRS will open round the bendy straight. It's like one of those paperclip ones on Word. As we approach turn 11, where we saw plenty of overtakes in the previous race, go as wide as possible so you can rotate the car in round the bulby penis of turn 12, where we saw plenty of wheel-to-wheel action. Not often you see that. Mickey Mouse chicane, avoid the bollard and invalidating exit of turn 16. It's one of the most important corners to get a good launch out of, otherwise you'll be a sitting duck. DRS is open, down to turn 17. Again, another top overtaking opportunity around the hairpin-like corner of one of the final corners of the circuit. Hug the line on the right hand side of the final corner to cross the line. Terry takes pole again, 26-1, back-to-back poles for the Visa Carbon. What do you think of that, Jax Daniels? Well, he's definitely he said at the start of the season that he wants to fight for this championship, and he's put himself in good stead, and he's done it in sprint for qualifying. Terry's, like you said, almost 4 tenths ahead of Benji Boy, joins him on the front row. Sedda's good lap from him, joined with Regan McKinnon reserving for us in the Red Bull. Lennon P5, Keys at P6, P7 for Dan Morris reserving as well for us in the McLaren. Guna P8, is that pole for the Challenger Championship? I think so. Dustin Arena P9, Josh rounding off the top 10, Ricardo Milos and Danny Rowe 6, and Magel and Kessler side by side. 15th for Rep Saka, Danny Dine, Benja, Sygate. Looks like everyone's actually qualified. They've done a lap. That's good going, but Sygate will start from the rear. Any tips for sprint for the Div 2 drivers, Jax?
I would try to figure out my mic.
I think what I found on the PS is if you go into, let's see, yeah, you're a bit louder with me just there. Yeah, mic and sound. The controller speaker I had. That's nice and loud for me. I don't know about the guys on stream. What's that like, Lennon? Any good? We've got Callum in the chat watching. He's good luck to all drivers, and he says Terry's flying. He's basically like Westlife, but he's flying without wings. He's not even doing it in. Callum says he can't hear anyone else.
Ah, maybe it's a party setting.
Maybe. I'll see if I can have a quick look. Drivers at the moment will just be sorting out their setups for the sprint race. See if I can sort anything in here.
Because it's so loud now, I can hear myself double. Whoa.
Party settings. Callum says you have to select a setting. That allows you all doing other stuff or in broadcasts. Oh no, he can hear you. No, he says you can hear you. Don't change anything. You don't hear anything. Oh, good. Okay. Let's see if anyone learned anything from your race. Oh, we've got one or two doing it. We're starting the mediums then. So Sedders, Regan McKinnon, Kester, Saka on debut, Danny Dine and Sygate all going on mediums. And we found in the Div 1 sprint, those mediums did not last very well. Callum says say something again. Let's see if you can hear that. He does. You're a little bit quiet with me, but hopefully they can hear you. No, it's fine. It's fine. I can still hear you. It's whether they can hear you or not. No, he can't hear you. Turn yourself back up again. Speak again, and then they'll let us know. I'm not touching anything. Car's just approaching. Turn 17. Terry's leading them round in his alternate livery. He can hear you, but it's a whisper, so if you're able to turn up any bit more. Are you hearing yourself double again? Okay. I think just turn it down a smidge, because I think he could just hear you, but... Terry's disqualified in his pit box. That's going to halt his launch off the line, and Benji will try and capitalise. As the McLaren of Sygate goes into his final grid space. And no, it's actually the other McLaren of Dan. Just slowly working his way around. It's starting right now. It's 4 and 5 lights. The sprint race is underway here in Miami in the glorious sunshine. And it is a good launch from Terry. Benji just having to slot behind for now. Sedders looking on to do the outside overtake on Benji through the S-bends. It looks like Benji's staying just ahead though. And good moves from Benja and Kessler and Sygate all getting positions. Big loser out is Dan Morris, but we see Sedders hit the wall and damage his wing. Side by side with Benji. That wasn't a great... I think there was a bit of contact there. Guna getting an advantage over. Kessler up to P7 for the Haas, and the Haas is a good start. 5th and 7th at the moment. Guna still having a look at Regan. No, it's Kessler. It's the different liveries are messing me up. Oh, we've got a Red Bull of Kessler. He's been caught on the inside of the penis, and he's at the back of the order now, P18. And Joey's found themselves in a decent position again after all that. Lennon stays out of trouble, P3. Keys up to P4, he'll be happy with that. Hopefully have no foggy cameras from him. Who have you got your eye on, Jax? And Rep Saka has lost plenty of positions. Lost traction coming out of turn 17. Found himself in P17. Sedders in the pits. Italian hand gesture as well for speed in the pit lane. I wouldn't be surprised if he retired from the sprint. So top 5 drivers, all the professional tier. Dunsterino, P7, currently leading the way for the Challenger Championship. Not bad from the Saubers. As we see the other one overtake Dan. Up to P14. DRS is now active. As said, is actually staying in the late race then. So fair play, fair play. We've got Benji challenging Terry's for this top spot. Right on his rear wing as they come out of turn 11. Both choosing the hard tyres, so similar strategies. We see Cygate up to P10. Overtaking Danny. And this is a brilliant start after the first couple of laps for the McLaren. From the rear of the grid. Battles all up and down. And Benji takes the lead of the race from Terry's. It's only 10 laps, so it's a case of make the overtakes when you can. You tend to find drivers be a bit more aggressive during a sprint race. There shouldn't be any pit stops either, so it is a flat-out run to the end. And Benji, extra confirmation of his pace, gets the current fastest lap. There's a good battle here for P3 as Lennon's been dropped from the front two. Do you reckon Lennon can hold on to this podium? Yeah, no worries. We'll do maybe test her, and if you want to join properly next week, that'd be cool. Ricciardo Milos overtaking Magel at turn 4. Brilliant move, but Magel's fighting back. Williams not giving up on the position. Does the switch back at turn 8. Remains 13, but he'll be under threat from the DRS. And Dan Morris in the reserve McLaren loses traction out of turn 8, finds himself down in 17th. Ricciardo Milos actually lost out on a couple of positions. No, he's gained. You've got it figured out? I'm sure Callum will let us know. Oh, clout to the wall there from Magel as he exits the turn 16. And Geezer up to P4, battling here with Josh. Josh doing well at the start of the season. He's made a step up to professional. He said he heard you briefly. Josh doing well. Doing the step up to professional from Challenger. Battling here with the Aston of Geezer out of turn 1, but Geezer elbows out, keeps that P4 for now. And Lennon, shrugging off that battle behind, has got himself into this battle for P1. Eyeing up his first podium of his first win of the season. Benji Boy took last week's win in Suzuka. And although it's a sprint win, a win's a win. Sedders on those fresh tyres, taking that fastest lap away. There's still some close battles up and down the order. Reeder McKinnon. In his battle for P4 is the Haas of Josh has the inside of 11, but Geezer has the inside of 12, which we found has the better line. But Josh, oh, brave move from the Haas. Dives in, but goes offline out of through the Mickey Mouse. He'll have to give that position back, which he does. And Geezer ahead down the run down to turn 17. They probably hope not to have that position given to him. Could have had a bit of DRS as Regan goes through on Josh as well. And does the double overtake on Geezer up to P4 for the Red Bull reserve. And all the while, Dunsterino's joined the battle as well. This Sauber's flying in the sprint. Do you reckon Dunsterino could take some of these professionals?
Yeah, Dunsterino showed some decent pace, but I'm more surprised by McKinn here because Geezer thought he has P4 secured, but then comes McKinn down the straight and overtakes both of them for P4. Has a penalty to his name, but let's see if he can make a gap here.
I think there's a moment there for Danny Dine coming out of turn 3. Lost traction going through the S-bends. He's lost 3 positions. Doesn't look like he's got any damage though. There's a good battle between Magel and Ricciardo. I've caught up to Saige in the McLaren. Saigo will be looking in his rearview mirrors. Actually, Danny's got past him as well. So Danny settled himself after the start. Comfortable P10. Dunsterino up ahead of Josh, up to P6.
Yeah, Kessler's doing a good recovery here.
Who's that, Kessler?
I think he was last on the first lap, and now he's up to P14 already.
And it's good points for the Red Bull. There's a good performance from Benedict and D in the in Div 1 race, so it all goes good points towards the constructors. And he's part of this train battle for P10 as we see the Haas boys switch positions. So Gunnar over his teammate, who's in that higher tier, takes advantage of the DRS.
Yeah, is it some tactical, or are they battling for position here?
I think it's for position. I would have thought, with Josh being the quicker driver on paper, retakes that P7.
So no team games here at Haas.
No, I think it's hard to say. With them both being on the same tyre strategy, and Josh being caught up, but I suppose they have to work together to try and close up, back up to the Stauber. Cygate has had trouble coming out of that turn 2 and 3. Has been a tricky couple of corners for some, and he's done the same as Danny Dine and dropped down positions, and has got Danny Dine in his rear view mirrors. Gunnar and Josh stuck to each other like glue at the moment, and they've actually dropped, so I think Josh is not as quick as the drivers ahead, and he might be worthwhile letting Gunnar past, you know.
Yeah, all this fighting, now they lost the DRS to the guys in front, so maybe not the smartest decision to battle it out in the middle of the sprint. Maybe would have waited until the end.
Danny Dine in P14 managed to make that move over in Cygate. He doesn't have any damage, so he's probably just got tyres out of temperature and trying to make some damage limitation. And the SAS boys do change position, as you said. Gunnar up to P7. And Kessler, you said it earlier, and he's gained 2 positions now, P12. He's got past Magel. These medium runners, they might struggle though in a couple of laps' time.
Tyre crossover should be 4 laps against the Hearts. Let's see if Kessler can keep the Hearts, the medians alive. But Ricciardo should have the benefit here, but also has 3 seconds to his name, I think.
I think these Haas boys, there's no team orders. They are battling for position. Gunnar's stayed ahead, but I think he'll be under threat again from Josh down to run 11. Jump back to the
bad exit here.
Who's that one?
Gunnar had a bad exit, but I don't think Josh can benefit here. Just runs out of ERS, and now it's too close. The corner comes to grid, and now he has to wait until the next straight. Let's see if he can fight then.
Well, it's a tricky place to overtake. Yeah, it's a tricky place to overtake, and what they've done is they've brought Benjamin playing the Williams as well, and he'll be hoping that they collide.
So while they think they're battling for P7, will they both lose out to Benjamin again? Let's see.
Okay, there's that battle of the front 3. 4 laps to go, including this. 3 laps to go, including this one. As they cross to start lap 8, Benji still in prime position. Will there be any DRS games in play?
Yeah, Terry sniffing the exhaust of Benji here, and Lennon right behind.
So we have a look up and down the order. It's spread out a bit now as this sprint's unfolded. There's still that battle for P4. Keys are in a comfortable position behind. Doesn't necessarily have to make the overtake with Reagan's penalty, but he has to watch his rear view mirrors on Dunsterino. Again, it's a fine performance from the challenger driver. And he looks like he's under no threat from Gunnar behind him, so this could be a first win in Lights Out League Racing for Dunsterino. We look to his teammate, who has got he'll be under threat from Kessler. He does have a penalty himself, so Kessler can jump him over the finishing line. There's some decent points here for I think Haas will get a few, and Aston Martin had a good week last week. overall.
I'd only had half a good.
I didn't forget that you were in Aston Martin at all. Josh,
Sure.
You've got a good teammate though. Gary looked really good today.
Yeah, I talked to Terry's and it's like scrolling along. I'm scrolling and it's another.
Well, if something happens, you'll be blaming everybody else then if you stroll.
Exactly, the car's shit. Even on equal performance.
Let's just see, there's still just about a second between the front three. Is anyone going to make a move? It looks like Lennon's closing in on Terry's. Terry's had a bad launch. Lennon has the inside of turn 11. There should be a move for the Ferrari. He does, and Terry's can't really defend it. And it's a good move from Lennon up to P2. And the Haas boys exchanging positions again. He's Josh just put in team orders himself. So we go down to Sedders and the Mercedes. Getting past Saka on his debut. Reserving for English Monk. Katamise is cheering on Terry. I think Terry's he's underperforming after getting that pole. Maybe needs some words of wisdom from you, Jax, how to win from pole.
Don't get overtaken. As we enter the last lap, I think Benji has no problem defending because he hasn't been P2 the last 9 laps.
Well, no, I think he did that last week with the race. He got himself into the lead of the race, and then it was quite comfortable. Sygate being very defensive there on Sedders, didn't leave in enough room, and I think let Sedders pass. I think he had a better line coming out the final corner. Up to P15 for the Mercedes.
Lennon knows he only has one chance for the win, and that's in final straight.
You're
his ERS strategy, right?
Yeah, you're right. It's going to be ERS. It's all about the ERS gains here. As Keys actually made a move on Regan, and up to P4, and they'll be looking to get those bragging rights on track. Yellow flag. It's the Mercedes. And Sedders coming out of turn 8 wasn't the best, but we'll keep an eye on the front three. Lennon had taken a quick look at Benji, but Benji's got a big, massive rear end, and he's managed to keep it ahead, and he will cross the line and take the win. Sprint win in Miami. Brilliant drive from the Alpine. Lennon takes P2, Terry takes P3, and will try and resolve some of his driving issues in the main race. Keyser will cross the line in P4. Brilliant drive from the Aston Martin. Dunsterino jumps up on penalties up to P5. Congratulations to him. P1 in the Challenger. Guna will take P2 and P6 on track. Benja P7. Regan McKinnon P8. Josh will take P9. Danny will take another podium. P10. P3 in the Challenger. Ricciardo Milos 11th. 12th for Kessler. Magel on the hards. P13 and final driver on hards. Lennon says, have you seen what Lennon says? He said he heard you on stream, it turned you on and made him quicker. Turned him on and made him quicker. Sygate jumped penalties P15th, and we'll have to go through the order again, but some brilliant driving on show there.
Yeah, well, let's see what happens if Lennon hears me a full race.
Well, we're expecting to go absolutely belt for leather in qualifying then. So here is your order then for the Miami Sprint. Benji gaining the position and taking the win. Brilliant drive from the Alpine and a great start to the season. Lennon coming from P5 to take that P2, and Terry's will get a podium P3. Keys at P4, Dunsterino P5 and that P1 in Challenger. Guna P6, 7th for Benja, P8 for McKinnon, losing out a couple of positions. Josh P9th and P10 for Danny. Ricciardo Milos 11th, 12th for Kessler. Magel, Danny Dines, Sygate, Repsaka, Dan Morris and then Sedders at the back, but gets that fastest lap with a 28.7. Who have you got your eye on then for that one-shot quali?
I think
Pole position.
can repeat it, but I'm more worried about the race because Benji seems to be well in control here. Then Terry's had really no answers to his driving, so I think it's all about keeping it clean. And Benji maybe have it in the bag already.
Well, it's a sprint. It's 10 laps, and it's will anyone be brave to do the one stop? It's all down to safety cars, so the strategies can be completely out the window. Callum says Terry's may have too high wings. Maybe is underdoing.
I know his setup, and I don't think it's too high. It's all about his driving.
okay, all right.
Terry's, don't get nervous now. You have it in you.
Now, what will be interesting is that Miami's known for some wet weather, and we haven't had anything yet. And we've got a dry quali. Will we see any rain in the main race? Let's hope so. Do you reckon Terry's going to get that pole?
I mean, if he can repeat it, it should be no problem. 4 tenths ahead of everyone. That's a big statement.
Who do I reckon will get it? I reckon we'll get somebody out of nowhere. So what? Somebody that did a one shot and probably didn't nail their lap. I reckon they'll
What
get
will
it.
be interesting is if somebody invalidates his lap and has to start from the back. It's really then a pain in the ass.
Well, you know that.
Yeah, I'm speaking out of experience.
Although, we saw Amadi, one of the top drivers in Div 1, couldn't hold his nerve and invalidated. Obviously, he's got the skill to work his way through, but some may find it a bit more difficult. We're getting underway now as the timer ticks down, and
nobody ready that early this time.
Thank goodness for that. We'll keep an eye on. Let's go on Benja in the Williams as he starts the hot lap for the feature race as he approaches turn 1. So as far left as possible. You can take it down in third gear. Go through turns 2 and 3, the S-bends where 1 or 2 have come a cropper. We've seen some fine overtakes at turn 4. Blind left-hander. Very tricky to take these corners, easy to invalidate. You've got to take a good line or you're going to hamper your round turns 7 and 8. Trail break through turn 8, take a wide line. Great exit from Benja, although it's not a great exit because he's currently last. Claps the wall as well. Has DRS open. Let's jump on Kisa Giza though. Kisa Giza currently running in pole position. Now he'll be sweating bags. Oh my god. Round the bell end of turn 12, turn 13, and then turn Mickey Mouse chicane of 14 and 15 where it's very easy to invalidate where Benji has jumped ahead. Both Aston Martins currently second and third as we go down the start. It's not the start finish straight.
Will we have a green front row?
Maybe. You'll be absolutely creaming if an Aston Martin get a front row. As we approach turn 17, hard braking zone where it's easy to lock up and go deep. Go around the final couple of corners. Keys is currently P2, but Benji's got pole. Who will take pole position as we cross the line? It is Benji, as you predicted, 26.5, but it's by less than a tenth, I think. But good drive from Kisa Giza. He'll be chuffed with that. What's happened with Danny? Danny's messaged me. Opened again. Benji on pole. Just over a tenth. 10.5 ahead of Keys. Joins him on the front row. Dan Morris, P3 with Josh. Danny and Ricciardo in row 3. Terry's P7 with Guna P8. Magel and Sygate round off the top 10. Sedders and Dusturino on the 6th row. Kessa and Saka row 7 with Danny Dine. P15. Lennon, Benja and Regan all invalidate. Lennon says he's crashed.
He's crashed.
Yeah, one of the big boys does.
I think you heard too much to the commentators. Now you're very nervous.
Yeah, well, you excited him too much and he went over the white lines. Hearing your voice, wow. And it sets the men above the boys, and that's what Lennon said beforehand. And he's definitely a boy.
He's definitely a boy, but he can show he's a man in going in last to first,
Oh,
which will be very tough. Maybe he can do it on strategy, but for sure he will jump up the field. But I think P1 is maybe a bit out of reach now.
it'll come down to if we see any safety cars or anything.
Yeah, or if it's even raining, I don't know.
Dostorino says he didn't do a lap. His game crashed. He was loading into quali. Weird. I'll send a couple of invites out. I don't know if one or two have gone out. Danny Dine maybe. I can't see him, and no, he's not online. Strange.
Oh, somebody readied up.
Somebody's readied up, and somebody will get an absolute spanking. I don't think either Danny Dine or Dostorino are in the game. I'll have to invite him. Dostorino's in. I don't see Danny Dine. But we'll go back on. Benji Boy leads us round.
Let's see the tires.
Tyres are on, and it's a bit of a mix. Some starting on the hards. Josh, Terry's, Sygate, Kessler and Spencer all choosing to the alternate. Everyone else looking to start on the mediums. Did you start on the mediums or was it hards? I can't remember.
I started on mediums because then I could do a two stop on the hards because I knew I was crashing lap 1, so it was a smart call. Smart call the whole day. So
well, it depends. Like I say, it depends on if safety cars and all those sort of things. Miami is it's a combination of development process that simulated no less than 36 different layouts before deciding on the current circuit. It is a new street circuit, not dissimilar to Albert Park, and it's a modern track. Hence, one or two of the hard braking zones, like turn 17, which we were approaching. The circuit's 5.4 kilometre anti-clockwise circuit, 19 corners, 7 to the right and 12 to the left, with 3 DRS zones, which are very, very effective. 67% chance of a safety car, and same for a VSC. We saw 2 in the Div 1. Will we see a full safety car? What do you reckon, Jax? Who do you reckon is going to come a cropper? Who do you reckon is going to rise above the rest and get onto the podium?
I'm not too sure. I think Benji has a good chance now, but Keys is right up his back, and then Morris also as a reserve here has a good chance because he can be quick, but sometimes also likes to become a cropper. So let's see if he can keep it together.
Well, yeah, Dan.
Terry from P7 is also a good shout. Had a bad quali, but we know he has it in him. So let's see the first corners here.
Well, Danny, currently in P5, got pole for the Challenger, so he's definitely in the mix of the Aston Martin team. But Terry's has got his work to do. Definitely. I think the Aston Martins have probably had a discussion beforehand as we wait for the final couple of cars to jump in their grid slots. It's 170 metres run down from pole to turn 1 for Benji to defend from Keyser, but he has the inside line. It depends who's got the best launch out of their grid slot. As we get underway, it's 2, 3, 4, 5. We're in Miami. It's lights out and away we go. And it is a good launch for Benji. Keyser has gone under threat to Dan Morris here. No, it's single file. Oh, Danny's got himself up in position, but ends up clashing a bit with Dan Morris. Oh, it's a Spider-Man meme with all the Dans. Dan Morris, Danny, and Danny Dine. Oh, let's hope I don't get tongue-tied. But everyone's in a decent position. Biggest loser, Sedders. Dropped 7 positions, and Dostorino, who had a fine sprint, down to P17. Biggest movers, Lennon, up to P10 now. As we got a yellow flag. Sedders hasn't even left a line.
That's not good for Sedders because you have to drive to get to the finish line, but Regan and Lennon has a good jump here. 7 positions for Regan and 6 for Lennon, so he's really flying at the start.
I think there's a bit of an issue with Danny Dine, Dostorino and Sedders, is they're all out of position. Saka and Kessler, sister teams.
And Sedders finally gets moving. That's good.
Oh,
what the fuck is going on here? Danny Dine stopping on the...
It says
I
see if I
think
can.
Danny has some problems. I don't know if he gets
I,
sorted out.
I think both of them have got probably
And
connection
Danny
issues.
Dine maybe retires. Yeah, I don't know. Now we have
Sedders. Now is that a VSC?
No
Danny
safety
Dine's
car.
crashed as well. Danny Dine's crashed out. And it's a full safety car. It's a full safety car. Danny Dine's crashed out in the Mickey Mouse chicane. The Mercedes
jumps into the pits. Has he got wing damage?
Maybe, although he started on the hards. It's a weird call from Benja.
Kessler crashed into the back of IREF, gets himself 10 seconds, which cannot be removed unfortunately, so a big disadvantage coming into the pits next time.
Yes, you're right. But yeah, Benja did have damage, so it's a good pit stop for him. We'll start from the back, but he'll have that extra lap fresher tyre.
But look at this, Lennon already ahead of Terry's, which is a big surprise after one lap.
Yeah, Terry's down to P10. So not the great first lap from Terry's. Is the pressure getting to him? And Danny running a great P4. Aston Martin's fine show, which I think you're absolutely loving.
Yeah, let's see the points coming for Aston Martin.
Apparently, Dustorino, Danny Dine and Sedders all crashed when they're loading into qualifying. It's game sometimes.
Kizagusa gives a big gap to Benji now. Ricciardo overtakes Danny under safety car. Interesting. Gives it right back. But
yeah, it's all about
Danny is really leaving 20 car leads here.
Well, it's probably the Deltas are playing up. And they've just gained a couple of seconds. Will we see anyone actually pit after the first lap? We've just seen someone dive in. It's Dan Morris. So Dan Morris getting off these medium tyres and doing a hards, which is definitely, I think, what Callum's suggesting. And it's definitely what I would do if they'd chosen that hard strategy. Looks like he might be the only one. Good evening, Chess Bowl. Nice to see you, my friend. You've been missed these first couple of weeks. And I've just seen somebody clatter into the back of McLaren. I think it was Rep Saka has hit the back of Cygate and probably damaged his wing. Clown move. So.
Yeah, we cannot highlight it again enough. I was about to say, leave a gap to the car in front. Drive separately on the left and the right side. Just not let this happen, because 10 seconds kills your race and you cannot get it removed. It's simple, fast to do, and people still mess it up.
Yeah, I think sometimes it comes down to experience. I think those that haven't done that much league racing, and you don't get that. Well, I say you don't get that many formation safety cars. Online you probably get loads, but yeah, it's the drivers behind's responsibility to make sure they leave a big enough gap.
But it's also the driver's responsibility in front to not slam the brakes, which is also out of the rules. We don't know what happened, but maybe we need to highlight this again, because we want to see fair racing and no issues at all in the safety car, because other people's races gets compromised, and we don't want to see this.
Of course. I'm surprised the safety car's not in yet. I would have thought it'd be in with the cars all being bunched up, but we've got another lap going round.
Yeah, we just had one lap. I think this is one lap. Yeah.
I'd like to hope so. Although it's a nice car.
Up.
So we got
Aston Martin. We got 3 Aston Martin's top 4.
I was literally just about to say that. you read my mind.
Safety car in the pits for the whole weekend, but here we have it. Iron getting another 10 seconds or what happened?
He's sped in the pit lane. He gets the Italian hand gesture.
So he gets removed in 10 seconds, but gets it.
Yes. Chessbowl says he'll be back next weekend. Very good. He's definitely one of those ones to challenge for the professional championship after his win. He's the title holder for the Challengers. and he put in some fine performances last season, and we'll look to emulate that this season.
Yeah, Jasper really great driving last season in the Blaze Runner League. Missing the first races, I don't know. He's missing this one, so he has some catching up to do because we only have 10 races this season and 8 to go. So no doubt he can do it, but I think he needs to do some time shots to not get relegated right back again.
Well, you know, the guys ahead are making it quite easy for him. Benji is probably at the moment, the only consistent one that's remained at the top, leading the race at the moment and won last week's. Lennon and Terry's 8th and 9th. Got a big job to do. Safety car should be in. Notification any time now.
There's some overtaking between Len and Steffo. Len and Steffo. Len and Terry's.
Yeah, I think
they can't wait to get going again.
And Terry's actually stayed ahead of Lennon. What's going on there? Oh, Lennon won't be happy about that.
Will we have some clashes and stewards from after the race?
And
be fair and give it back.
And we're still going round with the safety car.
I think the Aston Martins like it so much. And this could make the one-stop really work.
Potentially. I think it... You know, Sam made it work in Div 1, but I think he's... No disrespect to these lot, but he's a better driver that can look after his tyres a lot more. I think, especially them being all close and compact, there'll be a lot more racing going on where they'll be a lot more harder on the tyres. And especially around like turns 7 and 8, it's really hard on the front right. So I'd be surprised if we do see a one stop. I think some will try and still do the 2 stop, but this has definitely helped, like you said.
Kessler could have pulled a smart move here, also driving into the pits to remove his 10 seconds, but didn't think about it maybe.
Yeah, maybe that's a bit of an inexperience. I know for me early days it was a case of I didn't want to lose any positions, but it's better to do it now, while everyone's bunched up.
And we know Kessler as a team, he was really improving last season. Coming down from the Challenger League. Should have had high title hopes this season, but I don't know what the standings are right now.
Well, you say it's a long way to go. We've only had one race. At the moment in the Challenger, Danny is in P1, Goon is in P2, Magel's ahead, Sygate's ahead. So he's currently P5. As Danny and... What are they playing about? Safety car is finally in. It's been a while.
Yeah, Kessler P2 in the standings right now, so we know he has it in him, and maybe we will see him in the going up this season.
Well, like you say, it's definitely a contender, and it's such a close competition. There's different winners and different people on the podiums every week. It's going to be a battle to the end, which Div 2 was. As we come round the hairpin, when will Benji pull the trigger? Giza is all over the back of the Alpine, and Benji's gone. Giza's stuck with him, and he's under 3/10. And he won't be there to Terry's actually given the position back, so that's a good job for Terry's. As Kessler's actually got himself up to P10, ahead of Regan and Sygate.
And pressuring Terry now.
Terry's actually been dropped from... oh no, he's closed up the gap now. No. He's fell back over half a second behind Lennon after letting him go. But it's very close between P3 and P4. The kick Sauber round the gearbox of Danny TM. There's no DRS until the next lap. As we approach turn 11, can Ricciardo make the move on the Aston Martin? Has a look on the inside. I think
that's a little bit too much. Maybe a single back, but let's see what happens in the next couple of turns. Going side by side. It's not a good place to do it. Oh, they collide.
Ricciardo gets... Yeah, and he's probably a bit too aggressive at turn 11. He probably put his nose where it shouldn't have been, because you saw Danny turn in. It'll probably be an onboard footage if they do send it in. But Danny hitting the wall coming out round turn 13 as Lennon making a move on the Williams of Magel up to P7. It's very congested as we approach turn 17. As Magel has his former teammate, it's not his former teammate, why am I lying? Magel's team egg. But he has Terry's who makes the move out of the final corner over the line, goes up to P8 as Repsacker is in the pits, probably getting a fresh wing.
And Lennon really flying here. Basically at 2 racing laps, still already at P6, coming from P16. Trying to make quick work with the Aston Martin here.
Danny Dine's lost out to Guna now, so Guna's taken the lead for the Challenger Championship.
Danny Dines at DNF.
Yeah, he crashed the same. He crashed the same lap as Sedders, so I think his car crashing caused the full safety car. Double overtake, Guna up to P3 ahead of Ricciardo. Lennon following suit ahead of Danny. As we approach turn 11, Lennon's not messing about here. As we see Terry's and Dan Morris doing the same. Josh on Danny's lost out a couple of positions. Aston Martin at the Mickey Mouse chicane. Just staying ahead of the Haas for now.
Then ETM really under trouble here, dropping already 2 places. Will he get a chance against the hard runners? He still should have the advantage on his mediums. But this will quickly fade away.
Josh is trying to force him into a mistake. He has a look on the outside. Oh, what an overtake there from Josh. Does he go too deep though? He has. He's gone too deep and hit the wall. There's a brave move from the Haas, but Danny does a switch back and retains that P6. And Terry's is now trying to capitalise on Josh's mistake on the inside of turn 1. Josh has that corner covered.
Yeah, Terry's pushed him over the finish line, but couldn't truly overtake. Maybe now in the next race.
Magel taking a pit stop as he got a, looks like he's putting a fresh wing on. He's not, he's just getting off those tyres. Currently P15, the Williams, both Team Egg not doing so well at the moment. Benja running P13, but he is on the harder compound to looking to go a little bit longer. And those up further at the top.
And Danny and Josh still fighting it out for P6.
Yeah, Josh is on the outside. Danny defending the inside, but Josh will still have the inside of turn 12, and he's retained that position. Danny has to be careful of Terry's behind. So it doesn't seem to be this set of corners doesn't seem to be Danny's favourites. He seems to have a bit of a trouble between turns 11 and 16. And currently down now to P7 from P3, wasn't it? So as we have a look at the front four is Lennon. Yeah, I was just about to say Lennon making meat of Ricciardo. And up to P4 and look to hunt down those podium positions. Terry's doesn't like what Lennon's doing and dispatches Danny up to P7. So Benji's got a bit of a gap now. Do you reckon it's quite comfortable? Oh no, Danny. 10 seconds he kept speed in the pit lane. And all that hard work he's been doing has come undone.
Mike Crack will have a word with him. Not Mike Crack, but...
Mike Crack stinks.
Okay, that's fine.
Isn't it Adrian Newey now though? Mike, yeah, Adrian Newey's the team principal now. He's Mike Crack's. He's not working anymore.
He's not working anymore.
No, he's just blocked. He's blocked from.
You know what's not working anymore? Terry's parts are not working because he's stuck in P7.
Yeah, and he's struggling. I think Josh, did he get ahead of Ricciardo there? So the Haas running P3 and P5. Brilliant drive.
Ricciardo, he's still 3 seconds from the...
But I'll tell you who I'm impressed with, that wasn't really expecting Kiesa.
Yeah, Kiesa doing a good job keeping up with Benji. Slightly dropped out of DRS, but also dropped Guna on P3 by 3 seconds, I think. So he's keeping up with the lead here. Potentially fighting for the win in the end.
Exactly is. We're keeping an eye on Terry's here. He's just got past Ricciardo up to P6 now. Visa Carb. Yeah, a little bit of tussle, but it was harsh but fair.
Yeah.
Oh, Regan McKinnon, speeding in the pit lane. She get extra penalties for that.
I think maybe someone removed the sign, but I don't know why everyone is speeding in the pit.
Oh no. He's getting a new wing though as well, so extra time in the pits for him. The reserve Red Bull.
He's a dropping pace ever so slightly, but will his 10 race engineers, maybe they're there, will help him to get his win secured.
Well, yeah, like you said, he's got a good enough gap between P3, so, you know, he might just be nursing his tyres for now, try and do the one stop. Depends what Benji's strategy will be, and with the safety car, the one stop may be possible.
And also interesting to see if Lennon can make quick work of Blumer, and can he storm to close the gap to Keener?
Well, yeah, that'll be, I suppose Keener's Keener. He's a Keener geezer. Dan Morris dispatched Ricciardo up to P7 for the reserve McLaren. But yeah, we'll jump on Lennon as he opens up his DRS and gets past Gunnar with ease. Gunnar has got a big threat behind him. His teammate within DRS as well.
Gunnar with a ton of DRS to play here. I don't want to say too much, but we see maybe another position.
Well, with a second dose of DRS after the start-finish line, it should be an overtake. He has a look, but I think the position's consolidated by Lennon as Ricciardo is in the pits and getting off those mediums. So,
oh, but Lennon looks really slidey on those mediums already.
Yeah. Has that safety car actually done anything? Has it done any tyre saving at all? Don't know.
10 laps mediums, minus 3 laps safety car, so already some laps old, so the Hearts should have a good benefit now.
Which we can see Josh is right on his gearbox of his teammate. Will his teammate let him past on a different tyre strategy, try and hold up the cars behind him?
Or
that would actually slap Terry's. Yeah. Benja up to P8 now ahead of Kessler. Brilliant move from the Williams driver and found himself at P8 now, and it's amazing what a couple of laps does into the top 10 for Benja. But it's a big train behind Lennon in P3. He's actually Lennon's got a good launch out of turn 16, which is affording himself a gap between him and Gunnar. Gunnar has got his teammate closing down to turn 17, and I think there'll be a bit of team play here from the Haas boys now. We didn't see it in the sprint, but Josh is through.
To the back of Gunnar.
Terry's.
And Terry's under pressure from Dan Morris.
Yeah, Dan should have a better exit. I think he's just sort of behind.
Very aggressive, yeah. Not worth it.
A bit of a mistake there from the carb, trying to force his way through past Gunnar as well. Knows that Josh is his battle, but he's having a look and he's made it through Gunnar. Before turn 4, brilliant overtake from Terry's. Had a better exit out of turns 2 and 3. And he didn't want to be held behind the Haas for too long as he hunts down Josh and Lennon. So Lennon and Terry's now found themselves in a better position after the safety car.
Yeah, Terry's really has to hope that he can make quick work with the Haas, but he still has DRS Josh from Lennon, so maybe Lennon can play it a bit smart and keep Josh in his DRS. Of course, doesn't want to get overtaken, but nice to keep a car between him and Terry.
Yeah, Terry's just almost under threat from Gunnar at turn 11. Gunnar on those old mediums, it's going to be a struggle for him to keep Dan Morris behind. Dan Morris pushed him through the Mickey Mouse chicane, and we'll have a better exit, better traction with those hard tyres. When will we see these front 3 pit? Will they try and do the one stop? This will be an interesting call from them as Benji comes round. He goes through. Keyser is carrying. Oh, Keyser's pitting. Lennon's carrying on, so Keyser out the front 3, going to do the 2 stop. Is this the right call? Will this cost him a podium? Terry Reds is pitting as well off those hard tyres. That's quite interesting from Terry's pitting early on those hards.
He can try the undercut on Lennon. I don't know if he's going to So this will now be very interesting to see how it unfolds when Lennon doesn't want to carry some 2 stop.
This is a potential one-stop for Keyser, so it'll be interesting to see how his strategy plays out. As Regan McKinnon getting past Ricciardo at turn 1. They're side by side coming out of turn 3, but the Red Bull stays just ahead as Danny gets himself onto the penalty wall.
We see that both Aston Martins are right behind Danny with the early pit jumps Keyser, but he should let him pass really quickly to not hold, to not hold him up. And it seems like he just makes easy work and lets him go.
Yeah, great team play there.
Keyser's on the run for P1 here.
Yeah, he's got a good 6-second free air to on those fresh tyres just to put some laps in, especially with Seigate and Kester fighting ahead. He'll be able to close the gap on them. Oh, I say 6 seconds. It's dropped 2 seconds already. Did they hit each other? Wow. Keyser's flying. Like, he's got some extreme pace here. Benji's pitting. So I think Benji's responding to Keyser.
Benji's covering off the undercut from Keyser, but will he do it because the gap, usually you lose 19 seconds in the pits, and Keyser was 21 seconds behind.
Josh has taken the lead of the race, and Lennon has sped in the pit lane and got himself 10 seconds. Absolute rookie error from the Ferrari driver, and that's definitely cost him a podium position unless another safety car comes out.
Benji out of the pits, well in front of Keyser, and also importantly in front of Kessler to not hold him up, and now he has also some free air to play with. Good strategy call from Benji here.
Yeah, and it shows good pace, good in-lap pace from him as well. But he will catch up to the front 3, so Josh, Dan Morris and Benji are all ahead. Benji, Spider-Man meme, will he point him out of the way? Who knows?
And we have to get back to Lennon. Absolutely playing to get 10 seconds in the position he was in. Now completely destroyed the race. Invited Terry back from the 2-stop. Yeah. I don't know what to say, because this was as you said, a complete rookie mistake.
Yeah, I remember, I think it was last season before, and he was on for a decent position, either a win or a podium position at Brazil, and ended up getting a silly penalty and cost him loads of positions. We saw Guna overtake Ricciardo up to P12. As you mentioned, Lennon, he's got Terry's over his gearbox, and this is a championship battle in the middle of the order, as we see Josh pitting. He's again past Seigate. He's joined this battle between Seigate and Danny, and he's overtaken them both, and he's looking to dispatch Kessler as quick as possible too as he approached turn 1.
Josh into the pits also goes into another set of cars, so also he's in the 2-stop with 14 laps to go.
Keys is stuck behind Kessler as they come into turn 4. Not what Keys wanted. Benji in a really, really fine position for the net leader of this race.
Yeah, Keys are losing here valuable seconds against Kessler. Overtakes him in front of the DS detection, which may be a bit...
Yeah, it's a little bit of gameplay there from Kessler to get DRS to hold him off from Seigate. Maybe.
But Keys very confidently says, I can stay out of Kessler, no problem, even if he does DRS. And
yeah. Lennon with DRS getting up to P7, has Danny between him and Terry's. I say that 10 seconds is a massive hamper to his strategy now. Spider-Man meme, Benji has got past Benja and up to P2 before the DRS, and he has DRS and he's storming away the Alpine. Brilliant start to the season, and definitely one to watch as the race unfolds. Lennon past Seigate up to P6 now, as Terry's on the outside of Danny and doesn't hit the wall like we saw Josh do previously. There's overtakes aplenty. Callum says in the chat that it was difficult to overtake on this track, but these DRS zones are making it very, very easy.
I was just thinking, where's Dan Morris, and he's leading the race actually. On the 1-stop probably, so he only has to pit one more time to the mediums and has a good chance with the tire offset to get a good position in the end.
Well, it's when did he pit? He pit under the safety car, didn't he? Because he's done.
13 laps.
So he's got to pit again. He won't be able to. He won't be able to do another 13 laps on these tyres. So he's definitely got to pit again. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he plays out to everyone else's strategy. We saw Ramadi pit under the VSC, and it worked well for him in Div 1.
Yeah, on the possible 2 stops of many, he will lose about 19 seconds, will drop down to P12 right now. But as I said, 2 stops are many on the way behind him, so he will not lose out too much and have fresh mediums in the end.
As you see this midfield battle, Danny fighting hard through that middle sector. Oh, Josh! How did Josh just get a 10-second penalty?
I think he cut the corner big time.
Oh, Josh. The Mickey Mouse chicane as Dan Morris is in the pits. And we'll see.
Must have went straight through the corners.
Yeah, must have.
What 5 cars next to each other.
It's a big cluster going down to turn 1. There's DRS in play. We could see 5 wide, including the 2 Haas boys. They're at the back at the moment. The Red Bull and Regan McCannon gets squeezed, and Saigate gets clipped and spins, and he's facing the wrong way. Dan Morris comes out in that cluster as well, in P11. He doesn't want to get held up too much by the Haas, and they'll be pushing him around, but something was bound to happen, and Saigate's the one that come a cropper, and then down in P14. He's on 16-lap old hard tyres, though, so he's definitely one that would have been struggling through that section of corners. As we're going to...
The group still separate by maybe 1 second. Can Dan Morris make quick work of them? Because everyone in front has just pitted.
Well, it's 3 wide with Josh, Regan and Danny. They're within a 10th as they approach turn 11 with Gunnar as well and Dan Morris. Dan Morris is stuck behind and he can't go anywhere. There's 2 cars breadth ahead of him as he takes a quick look.
Oh my God!
As that was Gunnar.
Gunnar's out of the way.
No, he's span. I think he's hit the wall at the Mickey Mouse. He's down to P13. He's lost out several positions.
Pushing the wall by Dan Morris? I don't know.
No, I think Dan was battling with Danny. But it'll be interesting to see. I'm sure there'll be 1 or 2 clips to the steward's room if it was somebody else's foul play. So Josh is leading the way in this train, but he's caught up to Kessler in P6. Kessler an old hard, so he's definitely got a pit again. So is Benja. Benji's storming away in P1. Good, almost 6 seconds ahead of Benji.
Cycling into the pits. Remembers to...
I think he's had damage, so... Yeah. Onto those fresh mediums. As Lennon up to P2.
He didn't have damage.
He's just had really bad tyres. Well, he's been on the 1 stop then. He hasn't pit at all.
I can't remember.
Kessler hasn't pit either. He's done 17 laps on these tyres. So interesting from Kessler doing the 1 stop. Is he just waiting for
safety car?
No, I think he's either waiting for a safety car or waiting for a puncture. One of the 2.
I wouldn't wait on a puncture if I was him.
Me neither. Terry's actually here. He's on for a P3, you know, because Benja's still got a pit. I think Benja pit first lap though, and there's no way he can go to the end. So he's already pit, but there's no way he can go to the end. He'd probably try, but he's in this train which he's just fell out of.
This will be really hard for him. It's still 10 laps to go, and he's already on 17 laps old hards. I think they will fall apart in a few laps.
With the Red Bulls battling, Dan Morris is side through both of them up to P7. Dan Morris is in with a shout for this podium, you know.
And the Red Bulls discussing who's the driver 1. Is it McKinnon? Or I think McKinnon's reserving.
He's reserving, yeah, so he should probably let Kessler go and just let him. Although Kessler needs to pit. He's done 18 laps now on these tyres. He needs to pit. But
he had a good chance of a safety car when Gunnar crashed into the wall, but he didn't get what he wanted. So maybe it's time to abandon the strategy.
Yes. Lennon actually, he doesn't need to pit, and I had it in my head that he needs to pit because he's got these 10 seconds. But if he's got enough pace in him and he's got 10 laps to go, is it enough that he can gain another 9 seconds gap between him and Kieser?
He can make it work. Of course, Terry has to pit still, so maybe he's on for a P3 here.
Oh, Terry's doing
I think
hards?
Terry's went, yes. Terry's is
Oh, okay, alright, okay.
and this is
So,
Benja and Josh.
okay. So, yeah, Dan Morris definitely even shout for a podium then.
Yeah. Kessler still didn't pit, and IREP pitted already 3 times, so you can see the difference.
Interesting.
IREP Saka really likes the pits.
Maybe he's had many crashes. Dunsterino and Danny at turn 17 hairpin. Dunsterino staying ahead P10, and he's diving in the pits. Ooh. I reckon he might have got pushed there. I think Danny outbraked and pushed him and caused him to get a 10 seconds. Oh, not great. I don't think Dunsterino will be too happy with that, but both pitting, getting those fresh tyres on to the end of the race. I wonder if Dunsterino's even in there, because he had trouble getting in the...
Oh, Danny's sitting out his 10 seconds, and this really hurts now. He was up there at the beginning, that's now down to P14.
And they've taken I get used to as well. As we see Terry's and Benja. Terry's has the inside of turn 11. And gets up to P4. And that's not what Kieser needed. Because that means less gap between him and Lennon, if Lennon can get it.
Terry needed really to think what he's doing now, because he still has to pit. And
well, he's ahead of
9 laps.
Well, he's ahead of Benja now, so that's one car he can come out ahead of. He probably needs to pit now, doesn't he, to be honest? Like, the softs don't last more than, 3 laps, so he needs to jump on some mediums now. And he's still going. And so is Benja. Are they waiting for a safety car or something? Benja on 19-lap old tyres.
Gunnar outbreaking himself into the last turn. Lost pole position to Kessler.
And he's running really well at the start. He is in the top 3, I think. I think this is why he's in the Challenger, because there's the inconsistency in the race.
But gets the positions right back, because 3 people in the pits, and McKinnon and Kessler. Oh, Kessler's getting penalty big time.
And he doesn't have a penalty as well, does he? He's got a penalty as well. He's absolutely screwed. So yeah, his current P2 in the championship. Well, I doubt that'll be the same after this week. Dan Morris overtaking Josh at turn 11, up to P6 now, the reserve McLaren, and in a fine position with Terry's and Benja both still needing to pit.
Kieser still has the 7 seconds in his hands, because Lennon has 10, Kieser has 3, so he just needs to be within these 7 seconds behind Lennon. Maybe he can do it, and I think he was really deserving the P2 in the end.
Yeah, I think Kieser does, and I think even a podium, I think he'll be well chuffed with that, but obviously P2 is better than P3, isn't it? Especially when you...
Yes.
Yes. And, yes.
Go,
oh! Terry's has got a 10-second penalty, speed in the pit lane. Oh my Christ, the 2 of the championship contenders have both made absolute rookie mistakes.
Terry's playing the fair game. He says Lennon gets a 10 seconds, I get it as well, no problem.
Yeah, well, yeah. You can look at it that way. I call it, Terry's just couldn't put his foot down quick enough. Oh my God. And he's trembling. He's panicking.
Saved 1/10 to gain, but lost 10 seconds at the end.
Oh.
But comes out only P7, it's good.
P7, but he's got that 10 seconds though, so that's going to cost him at least, well, the guys behind him got penalties too, so probably not too bad.
Dunster has 10, Ricciardo has 6. I think he can make a gap. Josh also has 10 seconds, so he can make up this position.
We've got a battle here. As Benja goes deep at turn 11. Dan Morris and Josh have gone through. Dan Morris now up to P4. And Dan Morris, if he can close that gap on Kieser, he's in for a P2 shout, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. He's already in gap with Lennon. Only has to do some work with Kieser.
Yeah, it's 2.5
P2
seconds, and
in
he's
reach.
2.5 seconds close that gap to close up to P2. Danny and Sygate exchange positions.
And Benji really in control of P1. I think there's no doubt he will lose it unless he smashes it into the wall. But I don't think this is happening at all because he's really driving major today and really no contest for Benji to get P1 in both races.
No, it's definitely been his week, and just big strong start to the season for him after winning at Suzuka last week. He was very inconsistent last season. He had the pace. It's just the races that let him down sometimes.
Speaking of letting down, Michael said, "Let's go, Terry," and he's answering within 10 seconds, speaking to pits.
Yes, he's just put under pressure, isn't he? Like it's just everyone around him is just putting too much pressure on his shoulders. He can't hack it. He is shaking like a shitting dog. He can't handle the pressure. You can't call him a diamond anymore. Can't handle the pressure. Dan Morris, he's gained a second in this lap, so the pace is massive from the McLaren. Benja's in a deep. Yeah, I think Benja's actually he's gone about his own business, and he was further down the grid in the first stint, but found himself in P6, and he's closing in on Josh, but he still has to pit probably. 21 laps on these hard tyres is incredible. I just didn't look at that before. I was going to say how good a job he's doing. Is he going to go to the end?
If you can go to the end with these tyres, I think well done to him.
Keys is in the pits.
And he still can beat Terrace because Terrace has 10 seconds.
But that could cost him a podium though. Oh. He's on the softs. It's a 5-lap sprint for Kieser. Is a big enough gap for Gunnar? Well, we'll see.
And it is a really terrible call if he doesn't get the fastest lap in the end.
Well, we could have gone to the end. You're looking at Benja on 22-lap-old hards here. He could have gone to the end and got a P3 at least. I think that's in jeopardy now.
Absolutely. I don't know why he pitted.
I'm trying
Unless the tires were dying, but I don't think so.
I'm trying to have a look. So he's definitely within Terry's shout.
Josh has 10 seconds, I think.
I'll have a look. I don't like looking at penalties, but yeah, you're right. Josh has 10 seconds too. So actually, it's a good shout from Kieser. He's got nothing to lose. He'd probably lose just out on a position and the podium to Lennon.
And to Dan Morris. I think he was still ahead of him. Well,
of course, yes.
But for sure he can get P4 in the end, yeah.
Yeah, he might have cost himself a podium. This could have been the wrong shout here from Kieser.
Do you want to lose a P2 or P3 for 1 point fastest lap? I don't think so.
I reckon he could have stayed with Lennon though. I reckon he could have got P3. He would have stayed in Lennon's 10 seconds, that 7 seconds.
And now his fastest lap attempt gets compromised by Benja.
That's the problem, isn't it? You know, you're not guaranteed open air as he goes through past Benja.
He should be charging his battery now this lap and take another go.
Yeah,
Let's see how his first sector is. I don't think it's purple. No.
Got the Red Bull of McKinnon pushing Ricciardo through the end of the first sector, and they should easily dispatch the Sauber with DRS to turn 11.
Terry still has to make a quick work with Josh to get a P4 in the end. Still 5 seconds behind him on a fresh set of mediums, but still only 4 laps to go, so he has to make up 1 second a lap now.
I think Josh has just got himself an extra penalty though, so he just needs. Yeah, so he.
Oh, he did. Okay, so he only has 2 seconds. Oh, and it's raining.
It's raining. You're joking. Oh, surely no one's going to pit with 4 laps remaining. Well, 3 laps remaining.
And did Benja play it safe if the Inters have to come on? It's 3 laps to go, so
That's
maybe
probably what he's...
jumping into the pits.
I don't know if anyone will, unless it comes down hard.
It's coming down fairly quickly now. Let's see how the lap times develop over the time.
We've got Benja in the pits. Is Benja going to pull the trigger and go on those Inters?
He's on them Inters. Did he play an absolute masterclass here? But
it's if the Inters are the better tyre, though. It might not rain enough in the next couple of laps for it to make a difference.
You know, it's very hot in Miami, and I think the track can be fairly dry still.
Team Egg have both pulled the trigger. Magel's in too. It's a very slippery track anyway, and you can already see there's a dry line appearing. Is he closing the gap on Regan McKinnon? He is. Kessler's in too. Oh, it's teetering about. He's just gained a couple of tenths on Benja. Now, will these front runners pull the trigger? Benji's carried on round. Lennon's tiptoeing round turn 17.
Track is very wet now.
He's carrying on. Dan Morris. It's coming down. Will they try and do it? Lando Norris in Russia?
And Benja's making quick gains on McKinnon, so this shows the interest.
He's gained a second. Josh is in the pits. Terry's is carried on. So the Haas has pulled the trigger. Geeser's in. Don't get a 10-second Keyser. Good lad.
Oh, Keyser now pits in 2 times in 3 laps.
Yeah, he should have held out. He should have held out, really. Gooner's carried on.
But he can make up with everyone in front, not pitting on the Inters because...
Benja is past Ricciardo. Ricciardo struggled through 17. DRS is disabled, which means the track's too wet. This could be an absolute blinder from the Williams, who's gained 2 positions over both the Saubers. Up to P8. Josh and Keys are...
front now doing?
Well, Benji's struggling coming through the Mickey Mouse chicane. There's 2 laps to go.
Mix up the field. If Lennon and Terry's pits now, they held up 10 seconds, so Keys, Josh and Benja can really jump everyone here.
Well, I think Josh has just served his 10 seconds in the pit lane, putting those Inters on.
He lost his 10 seconds, correct? Yeah.
So he's potentially finishing ahead of Benja, but Benja's...
And Keys is looking again for P2 now.
Exactly. What are these front runners doing? Benji's carried on the penultimate lap. He thinks there's enough time. Leonard's carried on. Dan Morris is in the pits. Dan Morris gets a 10-second penalty too. Speeding in the pit lane. A 10-second penalty for Gooner for cutting the corner. There's penalties galore. Terry's is carried on the mediums. With still 2 laps to go.
Keys are just coming around the final corner. There's no wet and reach of Dan Morris on the fresh Inters, but with 10 seconds again to his name, I don't know if he can keep it.
Oh, this is going to be a tight one to the end. Terry's has got a good...
Passing Gooner.
Yeah, Gooner struggling on those very old hards now. Up to P7, and he'll gain on penalties here, Benja. As Ricciardo goes into the pits onto Inters. They're closing the gap. Dan Morris here on Terry's. A reasonably big gap for Keyser. Keyser shouldn't have pit. He shouldn't have done that first pit stop. That was a definite error from Keyser.
Terry's really struggling on traction, and Dan Morris will make quick work with him, and Lennon as well.
I think Lennon's pulling a gap from Terry, so maybe Benji and Lennon reckon they've got a big enough gap just to go to the end on hards and tiptoe.
20 seconds, oh my god!
Terry's. As Dan Morris goes through and up to P3, Terry's has had an absolute mare. and that will drop him down the order when everyone crosses the line. Will he try and pit anyway to go on inters, or will he just try? He might. I don't know.
Get it out.
He's just carrying on. He's going for it. He's going for it. It's damage limitation. Guna's dropping down as Regan McKinnon on those inters goes past up to P8. I don't know how this order's going to end with all these penalties. Benji's picked one up as well. I think it was just a 3-second though. Josh all over the back of Giza. Giza's not like...
in reach of P3 here.
Well, yeah, definitely.
It's only 7 seconds. He needs to make up a bit of time to Dan Morris now.
I think that'll be tricky. Well, Dan, yeah, unless Dan picks up another one on this final lap.
I think maybe Dan Morris. I know it's the final lap, so I don't think he will get Terry.
Keys is on.
Terry, sorry.
Yeah, Terry's
dropping down the order.
Yeah, he's dropping like Bonnie Blue's pants, and down to P6 now, and he'll drop even further with his penalties. As we jump back up to Benji as he goes down to turn 17 for the final time. I did not expect rain, to be honest. I thought rain was out the window. And it normally is when you look outside. But he's coming to turn 17. yeah, stupid comment. Turn 17 for the final time. And Benji will tiptoe over the line and take the race win following his sprint win in Miami. Brilliant drive from Benji. Lennon, after all of his minor errors, comes home P2. Should be to contain that P2 as Dan Morris looks like he'll take P3. Brilliant drive from Giza. Potentially could have got that podium, but comes home P4. Josh comes home P5. Terry Reds is going to come over the line with a slap on the wrist. He won't be staying there for definite, as Benji will take that P6 off him. Terry's P7 at the moment. What will Regan McKinnon do? Regan McKinnon takes Terry's shot from him, P7 from the Red Bull Reserve.
I think we're seeing the tears of Terry's on the track here.
Yeah, well, that's probably what started. Yeah, after he got that first penalty, started crying. Dunsterino up to P1. I don't think that's correct. That's weird.
Oh, great.
Yeah, thanks, Codemasters, for that. So Terry's, well, I don't know. Megal P10, Danny 11, 12 for Cygate. Yeah, Danny Morris's should have been P2, but a good drive nonetheless, up to P3 for you, my friend.
I think he sped 2 times into the pits.
Yeah, just gotta put your brake down. Dustorino finished 8th, considering his issues at the start. So, yeah, it's Codemasters playing its part and being crap. So let's ignore what it says on there, because Dustorino didn't win the race.
But enjoy the view.
But enjoy the view, yeah. Salva continuing their fine Division 2 form. So Benji Boy taking the win in Miami, followed by Lennon and Dan Morris. Giza will actually get P3 for the professional podium, so congratulations to him. Josh coming home P5, Benja P6, Brennan P7, Terry's will take P8. Megal then will take the win for the Challenger Championship in P9 with Dunsterino. He said he finished P8, so Dunsterino takes the win with Megal P2 and Danny takes another P3. Cygate P12 on the grid, 13th for Ricardo Milos, Kessler P14, Guna 15th, Rep Saka on debut P16, probably not the best for him, and Danny Dine and Sedders, fuck knows what happened to them at the start, but they're both DNF and caused the safety car. How did you find your first commentary, Mr. Jax Daniels?
Well, it's great. Can comment on some people, which is always great. Maybe we'll see me again next time, I don't know. But it was great fun and was an eventful race, which always makes up for good commentary. So thanks for having me, and see you next time in Silverstone for maybe another Tier 4 race.
Yeah, well, hopefully it all goes a lot better for you next week. Like I say, in Silverstone, it's you'll see Jax Daniels in Div 1 at 7:30 UK, and if you want some more Div 2 action, it'll be around 9 p.m. UK. Thanks for joining, Jax, and thank you everybody for joining us at Lights Out League Racing. See you next week. Peace out.